Hey guys, welcome back to True Talk. My name is MPI.
It worked!
It worked. The scene worked. I think I fixed it.
Yes!
I fixed it, and it's a
Don't
dumb
say
thing that
that.
I had to fix.
Don't
OBS.
say that because then it's going to break again.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's
We
me on the
fixed
good
it.
luck charm.
We fixed it.
He jinxed it.
It's fine. We have technical difficulties all the time. But welcome back to True Talk, guys. As always, my name is MPI. This is Mallet Editor. And we're joined tonight by our special guest, Steeemer. What's up, Steeemer? Welcome to the show.
Howdy, y'all. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we could get you on here. I know you've been looking forward to it. He's been, like, hyping it up all day. And, like, I've been getting the Twitter notifications, and it's been hyping me up. So, let's freaking do this, guys.
Let's go.
As always, though, we got to get to know our guest. So, Steeemer, we're going to ask you a few questions. We're going to grill you here, man, so be prepared.
It's a test.
Yeah, right.
We're going to ask you some questions.
The guy. We need other guests to sign up for this.
It's just some warm-up questions to kind of get to know you for the community who may not have had the chance to get to know you yet or just haven't seen you yet. So we always started off with a fairly simple one, I think. What's a brief overview of who you are as a streamer, your channel, and just kind of how you got started on this whole Twitch journey?
Okay, so my name's Steeemer. I'm in Texas. The hat's not just a gimmick. And it's Steeemer, Steeemer. I stream primarily mobile games. Mobile games are something my wife and I both enjoy and play quite a bit of, and just seem like something kind of different and unique. But we're all about, in addition to playing games and having a good time, we're about building a community and trying to discover new games and help people find games. There's a lot of garbage out there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to, use the community to figure out what's good and what's not, and just have a good time.
That's awesome. I think you're the first person we've had on that focuses specifically on mobile games.
Yeah.
And as someone who also is like a huge tech person and specifically loves phones, you're so right. There's so many garbage games out there on mobile and just so many that prey on microtransactions and are just bad. I worked in the cell phone industry for close to 7 years, and I can't tell you how many people came in and they would have, like, this ad pop up over their lock screen. And they're like, I don't know what this is from. Can you help me? And I would find it in, like, their Texas Hold'em game or their poker game or whatever. And I was like, it's in this game. And they were like, well, I guess I'll just deal with the ad because I like the game. And I was like, what are you talking about? It stressed me out so much.
So here's the big question.
I like that you guys are doing that together. I think that's really cool.
That's sweet. So here's the big question. What is your biggest pet peeve in a mobile game?
It has to be the ads. In fact, MPI touched on something that's a big challenge for our channel because there's some games out there, although they may be decent, it doesn't do much for the stream if we got a commercial or an ad popping up every 30 seconds. So in one case, in fact, I got burned, even though I kind of did it test ahead of time. It kind of waited for me to get into it to start popping up all the ads. So,
that's the worst. Like you're already invested at that point.
Right.
Man.
And then the other one is they let you get invested, and it could be 15 minutes or an hour or two, and then they hit you up for the microtransaction that's basically essential for you to continue to progress. So
yeah, it's either that or wait like 3 days to get to the next step.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've done a pretty good job of vetting these games in advance, but we still get tricked or caught once in a while.
Yeah. It's kind of hard almost at that point too, because some of them, like you said, are hours into the game, so you almost have to sit down and invest 5-6 hours into the game just to make sure there's no ads that are going to catch you later.
Right.
Yeah, that's really interesting, and I like the way that the community is being built of fun and also other people who love mobile games and just want to find fun games to play and help others find good games to play. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So then the next question is always, I think, my favorite one with the stories, and it's where did your username come from? Where did Steeemer with a third E come from?
So my first online gaming experience was on the original Xbox console, and I was younger back then, and I was just trying to think of something kind of edgier that would make it through the not the profanity check, but it would get through without getting hung up. But I do get asked all the time, "Am I from Cleveland?" And we just kind of laugh about that. But the extra E's came from the EA version being taken already. And so I just said, to heck with it. I'll put 3 E's in there, and surely nobody tried to spell it that way.
Fair enough. Cool. So the next question is usually the one that has, I think, the longest answer, but I think is also the best one. And it's, what keeps you motivated on Twitch, and what do you love about Twitch?
So I think the thing I like the most about Twitch is the people I'm meeting, the communities. True in particular, I'm a huge fan of the Stream Key podcast. I love y'all's show, but I normally do some volunteer work with youth on Thursday evenings. But I love the idea of being part of a community of really good people, and I also love to just help people in general. And I meet a lot of other smaller streamers like myself, and they need tips or advice and things like that, and I love to be able to help people out in that way.
Okay, that's a great reason, I think. All right, Steeemer, then, is there anything else that you want to tell the audience about yourself, about your stream, about who you are as a person, even anything outside of your stream, anything that you think they should know? Is there anything else that you want to tell them?
I don't think so. Our big message on the channel is, if you're a PC streamer, or I'm sorry, PC gamer or a console gamer, sooner or later you're going to be away from your preferred means of playing, and find yourself in an airport with an 8.5-hour layover in DC maybe. And so we're here to help you find something to give you a little outlet when you can't play on the console or the PC where you prefer to play.
Why are you reminding me of that?
It's like,
not for like 4 months.
I'll say it's 4 months away, and we're already torturing her with this.
I don't want to think about it. It's gonna suck.
Hey, maybe you can get some good mobile game tips from Steeemer here. It'll help.
Well, it's not like I'm gonna be sleeping in an airport.
Yeah, I probably not either.
Not that airport. Heck no.
All right, guys. So we've got some cool topics to talk about tonight. I think I want to start out specifically with an update to one first, because this is going to be a short discussion tonight, I think, because there's not a lot that's been added yet, but it is an update to something we've talked about. So twice
Get
already
out your marker boards.
on the show, we have talked about Riot Games, the developer, creator of League of Legends, the world's, biggest esport, if that's what you want to look at it as. And we've talked about their employees staged a walkout over some issues with contracts, and it basically saying you can't sue them over sexual harassment, which we don't need to cover this again, is not right. Long story short, it's bad. Now, the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, it's a heck of a name, said that they are filing an investigation enforcement suit against them as part of an investigation into gender discrimination at the company. Good.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned, good. Someone needs to look into this and be the outside person, and a government agency who can put you in the hot seat and get you in trouble with the law is who needs to be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you guys have anything to kind of add on top of this. I know, like we've talked about it before, so there's not a whole lot. But this was I think a big update with not a lot of information.
Yeah, so I'm kind of new to the story. I did see the article that was sent out a day or two ago and review that. I think it says a lot that this is, I think, the third or fourth time we're hearing about this. The other comment I made earlier is 150 employees don't stage a walkout if there's not some substance or something going on there. The other curious thing with the article was there's two very opposite point of views in the original article and the rebuttal from Riot, but I think it's fair to say there's something not right in Denmark over at Riot Games.
Yeah, and every time one of these articles comes up, they always have a press response or a release or something, and I don't care what they say. They're wrong. Putting something like that in a contract is just absurd. If you have to put that in a contract, you know something is not right, and instead of fixing it, you're just kind of trying to brush it under the rug. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a broken arm. You're doing nothing here. So they can every time come out and say as many words and try to swing things as many ways as they want, but they're wrong.
Yeah, I think the best hope they have for damage control is lopping off some heads in a very public manner, but
They're not going to do that.
it sounds like it's pretty deeply rooted there, possibly in the higher levels of management. I don't know if they're going to be able to resolve this in a hurry.
I've always heard it said that when it comes to a story, there are three sides to it: the one side, the other side, and the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So, but also, they always say that stereotypes and things like that always have often have a grain of truth to them. If people are legitimately walking out because of this, which we've covered multiple times on this podcast already, something is wrong.
Yeah.
Do something about it. But they're not going to. And I'm not getting on my soapbox because I have a headache and my head really hurts. And if I start yelling, it's going to get worse. So, yeah, that's my opinion.
And, even at this point, I don't know that there's a reason to get back on the soapbox. They're wrong. We've all come to an agreement on this, I believe.
Yeah.
But like I said, guys, that's a super short conversation about it tonight. There's not too much information that's been released yet about what this agency is finding or what they're doing other than they're investigating. Mallet, please don't die on us. You okay?
No, but I haven't been okay in months, and you've known that, so.
Fair. Okay, so do you guys have anything that we want to talk about from E3? Because I know the topic after that is going to be a long discussion.
Hawkeye wasn't in the Avengers trailer, and that made me really sad because Hawkeye was most attractive out of all.
There was a
Fight me
tweet
on
that they
that.
had about that said he will be there, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's going to be part of their probably DLC plans, unfortunately.
Well, actually, I've actually heard this really great theory that it might not necessarily be that because, the whole premise of what they showed us at E3 was that the Avengers were in San Francisco for A Day, right? To launch a new team of Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
In the comics, Hawkeye is the leader of the West Coast Avengers.
Yeah.
So
maybe he's going to be
is
there
a genuine
later.
possibility that he's going to be on the if he didn't get in trouble for it or whatever, or he's leading a secret team or whatever. So there is a genuine. He was conspicuous by his absence because they're very clearly working with the movie lineup.
Right.
And he's in the original movie lineup. So he was conspicuous by his absence, which made me think that there's going to be a lot more to Hawkeye's story than just a DLC. I'm very excited, though, but I have a huge crush on Hawkeye. So, yeah.
That's fair. Mallet, do you have anything else from E3? I knew you were going to be excited about the Avengers.
Destiny! Oh my gosh, I already pre-ordered it. Actually, pre-ordered it during last week's podcast. So, I wasn't even paying attention to half what we were talking about. I was just pre-ordering the new Destiny expansion.
Fair.
And I've been playing Destiny practically nonstop in my off time, so yay!
All right. Steeemer, what about you, man? Was there anything from E3 that got you super excited? I know I kind of felt like this year was a little lackluster, and I think you were kind of mentioning that before the show started.
Yeah, so before I get into that, as someone that started gaming on Xbox, I'm a huge fan of Halo, and I'm pretty excited for what's on the horizon for them.
Yes.
But in anticipating that we were going to talk about E3 this evening, I went online looking for, kind of summary type videos, and there was a lot of discussion where these people were basically saying that it was almost like paid cheerleaders in the audience to make something more of the lackluster announcements that were being made.
Yes, that drove me crazy.
It was just lots and lots of that. I think people disappointed overall with what they got out of E3. I think there's some good stuff that's kind of exciting. I don't know much about the steampunk game, but people seem to be pretty revved up about that one.
Oh yeah, Cyberpunk. Yeah, people are
because that's been in development for like
about
50 years.
Yeah, it's been
And
in development for a long time, and then now, yeah, they've got Keanu Reeves involved in it, and everybody is just like, "Well, I'm sold."
You're breathtaking.
Yeah, okay. I want to talk about what you said about the paid cheerleaders in the audience. I couldn't stand that. I like seeing people get excited about video games, and I've always enjoyed that at E3, but I felt like this year it was just like out of this world, like ridiculous. So we have the guy at Microsoft who's telling Keanu Reeves he's breathtaking. And then we have the woo guy at the Bethesda conference. I don't know if you guys watched that at all, but there's a guy in the front row just going, woo! Woo! At every single thing they say, I swear. But I did find out later that they had an open bar at the Bethesda event, so I think that guy might have been a little drunk and was just like extra excited about everything because he was drunk.
Well, I mean, I don't think the breathtaking guy was staged either, because they said later, like, they actually ended up giving him like a complimentary, like a whole like
they're giving him the collector's edition of Cyberpunk 2077, which I think sets a terrible precedence. If you interrupt an E3 conference, you get free things.
Yeah. But it also makes me think it wasn't staged.
Oh yeah, I don't think any of them were honestly staged. I think people are just a little too excited, and the Bethesda one, I don't know if I'd say it was staged, but they gave them free booze, so and Bethesda's whole show this year was basically like, please don't hate us anymore. We goofed. Please don't hate us. Have some alcohol. Which I guess.
Just remember, even the wise are bound by a bribe.
You're not wrong. And then the one that I really had a problem with was actually at Square Enix whenever they were announcing the Avengers. And this isn't necessarily a crowd problem. This is an audio technician problem. The board op did not mute them when he should have, because I could hear them louder than the trailer. I couldn't hear what they were saying in the trailer over the crowd yelling.
That's not good.
Yeah, so maybe we just don't mic E3 crowds. Like, they don't need to be mic'd. I don't care that they're excited. I know that they're excited because I'm excited. But
well, if they're all standing up every 5 seconds doing woo, then we probably don't need a mic on them.
Yeah. Yeah, when they stand up and the camera pans way back here and I see them all going like this, I get it. They're excited.
I get it. They're excited.
Okay, Steeemer, you said you're excited about Halo. Was there anything else for like the Microsoft event that got you excited? Are you looking forward to the new Xbox, or are you kind of away from consoles now entirely, only onto mobile?
So I haven't had time to really dig into all of what was covered at E3. I've just kind of caught bits and pieces since it's happened. But I still have an Xbox console, still play Xbox. I have a twin brother in Colorado and a friend of his that we play every Sunday night. So it's not that I'm strictly a mobile gamer. It's just in the streaming space and trying to make that our niche, if you will, where we do exclusively mobile games.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if that was kind of where you would move to. I know as people grow up and things, they kind of gravitate towards one thing and stay there. I know lately a lot of it has been people moving like away from Xbox to PC and things like that. But
right,
cool. So I'm looking forward to Halo. I think you guys probably knew that by now if you've ever watched an episode of the show. And Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm so excited for that game. I love Luigi's Mansion. It is the cutest, silliest little game, and it makes me so happy when I play it. So I'm so excited for the new one.
It used to scare me when I was little.
Oh, no. It never scared me. When I was a kid, I was like, give me the ghosties. I was so excited.
Well, I get jump scared so easily. It's like...
There are some good jump scares in that one.
Yeah. Oh, I see a cat.
Yep.
Now I don't see a cat.
Hi, Penny.
Bye, cat.
Hi, Penny. What are you doing?
Ninja cat.
She's meowing at me. She said, "Pet me, pay attention to me, jerk. You haven't all day."
What's the over/under on her jumping up on you while the podcast?
Oh,
is
she
playing?
won't jump up on my lap. She doesn't like to jump on my chair if I'm sitting in
Really?
it. If I'm not in the chair, she wants to be in it. If I'm in the chair, she doesn't want to be in it. There she goes in the window.
80-pound Labradoodle that thinks he's
Puppy?
a lap dog. No, he's not a puppy.
I want to see the puppy.
He's been sniffing around, and maybe toward the end we'll let him wreak some havoc.
I want to see the puppy.
He tries to wedge in between the green screen and the desk and makes a general mess.
All
Sounds
dogs are
about right.
puppies. Not all
Yep.
puppies are dogs, but all dogs are puppies.
Yes, can confirm, as would Kate if she was here.
I'm very dog deprived, so.
Let's see. Anything else from E3 I'm excited about? There's things that I liked, but there's not a lot that I was like overly pumped about. Those were kind of my two big ones.
Breath of the Wild 2.
Yes.
They're making a sequel to Breath of
I'm
the Wild.
very excited that that's happening, but I know that it's a really long time away. So I'm letting that one be a slow burn.
That makes sense. The Zelda games are always such good quality, and part of that, they take very long to make them.
Yes.
Which, developers, learn from this. Want a good game? Take time to make it.
Yes.
Duh.
You can learn from Nintendo because they just
Ooh.
delayed one of the most popular games that people have been asking for. Because, say it with me and hear it with me, employee health. Not having a crunch. If Nintendo can do it, so can you.
Ooh! But I am disappointed that the president of Nintendo North America did not come out wearing a Bowser suit.
Did you see
feel
his
like that
intro,
was-
though?
Yeah, but I still feel like it was a missed opportunity. When your last name is Bowser, you have so many opportunities here.
Well, they had
will
the Bowser there, and he was like, "No, not you, Bowser. Me, Bowser," and like
Yeah,
kicked
but
him off stage.
It still would have been better for him to wear a suit.
I liked it. I thought it was cute and funny. It was very Nintendo.
I mean, I remember all the memes that went out when he first
Yeah.
took over. It's like, man, I'm trying to get a meeting with the new CEO, and all I keep getting are notes saying that he's in another building.
It's so funny, and I like that they're embracing it too. I like that a lot.
What are the odds? He was made for this.
Yeah, he was
job.
like, from birth. This should
He
be
was
his
born
job.
to be the president of Nintendo North America.
Completely.
And all
agree.
they need is for his secretary to be named Mario.
So the other observation with E3 as it relates to someone who didn't attend the conference is trying to kind of catch up on what happened on the back end is it's hard to wade past this one big story that I know we're going to get into and find kind of the meat and potatoes of what happened there. Also, I noticed Captain in chat said something about Watch Dogs 3, which isn't a game I follow, but
I am very cautiously optimistic about Watch Dogs 3. So, Watch Dogs has been a game from Ubisoft that came out, I think, in like 2014, 2012, something like that. It's a little bit older. It's not super old. But, it was like an early Xbox One title. And it would have been at least 2014 then. But it has a lot to do with society being ran by technology and being so easily hacked into and things like that. And the first one, the trailer came out and people lost their minds. Like they were like, this is a game changer right here. And then it fell very short. It wasn't what it lived up to be. No, it kind of wasn't well received and people kind of wrote it off. Watch Dogs 2 came out, and it was much more open-world sandbox, almost like Grand Theft Auto with hacking. And now this one's coming out, and you can play as any NPC in London.
Fancy.
You create your own party, and there is permadeath for characters, possibly. So you kind of have to be careful with that, but your job is to make the biggest army resistance that you can against this, like, tyrannical government. So it looks very good. You can play as a grandma who shoots people in the face in broad daylight in the middle of the street, no doubt about it in their mind, which is freaking awesome. And so it's like they've been kind of pushing back to this is what people want this to be, and maybe this is the one to do it. But I am still a little cautiously optimistic about it because I don't want to get burned by it like we have the last few.
Makes sense.
Yeah, do you guys have anything else on E3? I don't want to just talk about E3 because we covered a lot of it last week, and if we did that, it would be another 2-hour-long episode of things that happened at E3.
And I might kill you if that happens.
Well, there is one more story.
This is a story from E3 that also deals with Twitch in the overall. Dr. Disrespect. This guy. So, for those of you who maybe somehow haven't seen it, Dr. Disrespect has been banned off of Twitch. We don't know if it's forever or for a time. And he also had his E3 pass revoked.
He's still banned as
he
of
did
now.
an IRL stream at E3 and filmed in a public bathroom. So, let me add more to the story to make it worse. There was a child using the restroom while he was filming. California says filming, taking photos, or anything similar to that in a bathroom is illegal, but only with the intent to violate privacy. So the argument on the law side is, was he or wasn't he? The argument on Twitch side is, you're an idiot, go away.
There's actually another legal argument, too. Consent law. Consent laws to be filmed. California, if I remember my Reddit correctly, is a two-party consent state. So to be recorded, both parties have to be aware and say that they're okay with it. So if people weren't, if you're just standing at a urinal and you're not okay and you're not paying attention, and you don't know you're being filmed, that also violates the two-party consent thing. So that's another thing right there, is that, so not only are you dealing with the whole invasion of privacy by filming in a bathroom, which is a place where you should have an expectation of
not being filmed,
privacy, and not being blasted to millions of people on the internet, you're also dealing with consent laws, because California is a two-party consent state. So, and you're dealing with a minor being caught on film without permission. And so there's a lot of legal stuff involved here. There's a lot of, Twitch versus legal versus the law. Is California going to go after him? What's Twitch going to do? Because there is the thing that Dr. Disrespect does bring in a lot of money to Twitch because he's one of the top streamers. But, on the other hand, it's is it easier to just drop him now? Or do you keep him banned as a punishment and then bring him in? There's so much going on here that it's there's a lot to unpack here, because you can be an idiot without being malicious. And I think that's a lot of what they're going to be looking at. Did he genuinely not know? Was he just being stupid? Or was he fully aware of the consequences of his actions?
I think once you get past the age of 15 and you start filming in a bathroom, you know what you're doing. This dude's how old? He's 30 some odd, 40 some odd years old, has a wife and children. Come on. It's pretty obvious common sense. Don't film people in a bathroom unless it's a closed set and that's part of the set. If that's a closed set and we're making a scene in a bathroom, sure, you can film in there. But you're in a public space at a convention hall with a bunch of people who don't know you and you're filming them. You know what you're doing. You're choosing to ignore it.
So one easy way to look at it, if Dr. Disrespect or his wife is in a restroom with children and somebody walks in with a camera, are they going to take exception to it? And I think any parent would. Mm-hmm. It's a common sense kind of a analysis in my mind. The other thing as it relates to legalities and that kind of thing, this guy makes a good living. He's got a bullseye on his head, and he went out and did something pretty stupid. It'll be interesting to see if a civil suit comes from this. Mm-hmm.
There's a genuine possibility. I mean, because the first step is, are they going to pursue? Is the state of California going to pursue criminal charges? Because the simple fact is, by the letter of the law, he was committing a crime and it's all on film. Whether it's serious enough to pursue to bring criminal charges against him is another thing altogether. They might not. Mm-hmm. It is, compared, it's not like it's murder. Then the next step is anybody going to bring a civil suit? Are the parents of the child? Are the other people, caught, men's restrooms are different than ladies' restrooms, kind of out in the open. So is there that? Like, there's a lot. So then there's the civil side of it. And then after that, there's the Twitch side of it. What do the Twitch terms and conditions say? As a partner, he's held to different standards than, say, affiliates. As a top partner, he's held to even more different standards because the eyes of Twitch are upon him. I see Captain Cavalier asking about child pornography. I don't think so. Unless, obviously it's not like I go into men's bathrooms on a basis, but I don't, as far as I understand, urinals are fine. Yeah,
I think that's a whole nother, right? That would be a whole different scenario, I think.
Okay.
And a little bit of different laws.
I think Sodomy has a better view on it. It's more of an endangering of children kind of an issue.
Right.
Privacy violation, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
they already revoked his E3 badge.
Yeah. They did it that day. They kicked him out. They were like, leave, get out.
Mm-hmm. And then there are some people on Reddit who were saying, well, it was the cameraman who was filming.
Yes, that's the next point I was going to bring up. There are people trying to say that it was the camera operator and that he told him to stop. Okay. Let's start with that on the law side. Does that come back on him or the camera operator?
Technically, it would be him.
If there's film of him saying, quit this, get out, does it come back to him and then the camera operator ignoring it, or is it still him? I didn't watch it. I watched 2 seconds of this dude's IRL stream, and he had a guy with a multi-$1,000 camera following him around, and I lost interest. To me, the IRL stream would have been like him with a cell phone, like everyone else does. So I can't stand watching the guy, so I couldn't watch it.
In this particular case, regardless, the cameraman and Dr. Disrespect have to be looked at as two separate entities, I think. Like, okay, let's just say I decide to hire a hitman to take out I can. Obviously, I didn't kill you, but I would still be criminally charged because I might as well have.
Yeah, you broke a different law at that point, but it's still a law.
I would still be charged with murder in this case.
Right.
And more than that, but I didn't pull the trigger. But I would still be charged and convicted of murder. This is kind of, I think, the same thing. You have to look at them as separate entities. Dr. Disrespect is not blameless because the camera operator whom he pays did what he told him to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's all there is to it. Like, the camera, like, and people on the internet need to know, you cannot say that Dr. Disrespect is blameless. And Sodomy has a good point too. If you sell alcohol to a minor, like, your store gets fined too.
Right.
You as an individual get in trouble, but the store gets in trouble as well. So it's like, we're not looking at the cameraman here. We're looking, because nobody knows the cameraman's name. We're not looking at the cameraman.
So I did find what claimed to be raw footage of the event. It started out on the event floor. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Disrespect saying something along the lines of, I've gotta make a D, and he's looking like, where's the restroom? And of course there's this gigantic sign right above the door. So it right off the bat, it looks like a very kind of staged, kind of planned thing to me. The other thing that was really curious is he went first to the left on the sitting side, and then after sitting, he went across the aisle and then went to the standing side. So the whole thing was just kind of bizarre and a atypical visit to the restroom.
Yeah, like, it's kind of obvious he wanted to film it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and he kind of had a plan going in there. I mean, I've never seen somebody go to the sitting side and then to the standing side. That's just unusual behavior in general.
Right, and so with that side, the other side to unpack, like we said, is Twitch. And I want to point out something that came up. Probably it may have been a year at this point. It's been a while at this point, but Twitch brought it up and made it very clear that you, the streamer, are responsible for what is on your stream. It doesn't matter. You could be streaming and your friend could run in the room, think they're being funny, say some racial slurs, and then run out of the room. You're the one that's on the line for that because it's your stream.
We talked about a guy who got in trouble for something like this a few weeks ago, remember?
Mm-hmm.
He got banned because he got banned for 24 hours, stepped away to the restroom, and then somebody used the text to voice thing to start screaming racial stuff while he was gone.
Right. So even if your argument is, oh, the camera guy, blah, 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 that's a terrible argument on both sides, the legal side and especially the Twitch side, because they specifically flat out said, this is your problem. If it's on your stream, you're responsible for it. So whether or not he was holding the camera or he paid someone to hold a camera, the ban, and as far as I'm concerned, is 100% justified and should not be removed.
Here's the other thing to think about. Remember what happened about, 2-3 weeks ago at this point? The Memorial Day weekend incident with porn getting streamed for like 30 minutes before some... Twitch is probably watching things much closer than usual still.
Yep.
Because of that incident. And they got
they're
a
ready
lot
to bring
of
a hammer down.
flack. They got a lot of flack for letting that go on as long as they did.
Mm-hmm.
So that also, their strong response also wouldn't surprise me if it had something to do with that as well. If that hadn't happened, they might have been a bit more lenient.
Or they may not have noticed it for a while. They
Or
might
they
have
may not
taken
have
longer
noticed
to
it.
notice it. But now, when that happened, you can bet that they are watching people closely, especially large streamers and especially ones who sometimes act the way that Dr. Disrespect does. Because let's be honest, he doesn't have the best past history on Twitch. Or,
Yeah,
in general.
so I've never seen one of his streams before. The name is pretty much all I need to know about him to kind of be discouraged.
He
But
cheated on his wife.
That I was aware of that too. But clearly he's one of these edgy, push the envelope kind of guys. And I think in this case he went too far, and now he's going to try and cop out by saying, "Oh well, I told the camera guy to turn the camera off," or whatever. It'd be different if he was, a model streamer and then he just, one trip to the bathroom and it was very out of place for his stream. But this doesn't seem to be, I'm not too shocked based on what I've heard about this guy that this happened and he's in hot water about it.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it this way. Like, if he hadn't been told, why else would the cameraman have followed?
Yeah, I don't think
if he hadn't been told to come with me.
Yeah, I don't think any camera person is going to go, you know what, I'm going to follow you to the bathroom. I think they're immediately going to say, oh, he's going to the bathroom, we're going to take a small break.
Yeah.
Like, just set the camera down and let it run on the convention floor. That's all you need to do at that point. It's easy content.
Exactly. So it's like, why else would they? But I mean, the simple fact is, it's all filmed. Everybody can see exactly what he did and did not do. Now, I haven't watched the footage. I don't know. So I don't know if he told the cameraman to leave, if he did, but you take away, but he waited like way longer than he should have to tell the cameraman to leave. I don't know.
Right.
But, we always joke about girls going to the bathroom thing, but I didn't think that was something guys did.
Yes. So
I'm kidding.
Here again, I saw on YouTube what is supposedly the raw footage. I didn't pick up on anything where he said, hey, turn the cameras off kind of thing. The thing that caught my eye is he's got this muscly guy kind of wearing this military kind of a vest who's kind of the bodyguard looking guy.
Oh, yeah, that's him.
And so I'm pretty sure they went in, hey, maybe we're gonna have a run-in with somebody in the convention center, and I'm gonna guess his instructions to the camera guy: no matter what happens, keep the camera rolling, because something may go haywire, and we may get some great footage and get a lot of views and a lot of attention.
Yeah, and he made a tweet. Rab put it in chat there that I was actually going to bring up.
Oh my gosh.
Mishaps lead to recaps. Full vid coming soon. P.S. My director Alex was fired. And I
Was
could
the
have.
director the cameraman though?
I don't know. At this point, I'm not entirely sure.
That just seems like he's
That's a long time
deflecting.
ago. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. You know that he is trying to blame it on someone else when he goofed.
Self-preservation. It's
Yeah.
self-preservation.
Of course it is. I don't care how big you are. One, that was a totally standard PR response. Two, I don't care how big you are. You still make the decisions for your content.
Yes.
I don't care if you're beginning to have a director. The director just directs. You're the guy making the footage. You're the guy who's deciding where to go. And more importantly, you have full control of your faculties, hopefully. And you can tell the guy to leave because it's stupid to film in a bathroom. It bothers me when people go into the bathroom and are still talking on the phone because like seriously, it's like you'll walk in and then it's like, they're on their Bluetooth in the bathroom. And it's like, here you are trying to do your thing. And it's like, how are you supposed to do that?
Right.
When you know somebody's talking to somebody important on the so awkward.
Yeah, and I think what you just said is just like spot on. Of you can have a director, you can have an entire crew. He could have a crew of 75 people that are helping him make this IRL stream. You have control over what you do. You are the streamer. Right. You are the person that's on Twitch every day, day in, day out. You know what's right and what's wrong. All you have to do is go, no, absolutely not. Because they don't run your stream. They're not, important to your stream. All you have to do is say no, and if they don't like it, they can go away.
Yeah.
Right, and then on the reaction side, directors can be replaced, camera people can be replaced, but if he loses his channel, and he's not going to replace that easily.
Yep, and that kind of brings up a new question of if he stays banned, which right now that's the big talk of the town is will he stay banned, or is this going to be a suspension? What is next? He's
still banned as of now.
Right.
And the incident happened 2 days ago.
So
that means this is much more than a 24-hour deal.
Yeah, and a lot of this I think is Twitch just kind of going, what do we do? How do we take care of this? Because they're in
a really bad spot right now because if they can't be too lenient because then it's like, oh, favoritism.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want to be too harsh because, again, he's one of their top streamers.
Right. And I think
so.
And I was about to say that we can all say what we would do all we want, but we're not a multi-million-dollar corporation. I would ban him and tell him just leave forever. You're done. Sorry. But again, I'm not a business. I don't make money from him.
And he makes them a lot of money. So
yeah, but
I agree with what chat's saying. Probably like a week or two long suspension. Probably with him making a apology of some kind as a condition.
And my thing with that is, at what point do we finally just what point does it take to be completely banned?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
There's been multiple things of drama with this guy on the platform. Obviously, this is a terrible look for the platform overall and him.
Mm-hmm.
What does it take for Twitch to finally be like, go away? We're fed up with you. No matter how much money you bring in, we can't do it anymore.
Probably more than this, because money talks, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So to the argument that he's one of the biggest streamers they have and he earns a lot of money and all this kind of thing, if he was permanently banned, don't you think a chunk of his audience would find someone else to watch on Twitch?
Probably, but
oh, yeah.
The PR scandal some companies can't stand anything being said about them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially many larger companies, and when it comes to inflation, there's a lot there. And also there's the risk of lawsuit from DrDisrespect himself, basically saying like, look, you unfairly have income.
Yeah,
'cause of
but
us.
you clearly broke terms of service here.
Yes, we know that, but whether or not he'd win, there's still the risk of him bringing a lawsuit. Anybody can
Right.
sue anybody for anything, and
That's true.
sometimes companies, whatever it takes, to avoid that.
And a kid's mother that was in the restroom could get an attorney and sue Twitch. I mean, I think it's a tricky topic, but this guy, if he gets by with a simple finger point on the camera crew or director or terminating one of his staff, and my question would be, okay, what's next, or what is he going to do next? What's going to be the next big story?
Mhm.
And I also be curious to see, has this been a boondoggle of views and traffic in his channel? Or will it be something where a tenth of his audience says, you know what, you went too far, I'm done with you, I'm moving on to somebody else.
Yeah, and Zig said it in chat that Summit has already commented he thinks he's getting a big chunk of DrDisrespect's views, which I think is fine. Like you said, people are just going to go watch someone else, and there's always going to be people who, no matter what these content creators do, is not far enough. Look at the Paul brothers. They're still on YouTube. God knows they shouldn't be. You can argue that point with me all you want, and I'll tell you that you're wrong. Look at all kinds of these content creators that should just be eventually, someone just needs to say, no, you're kicked off the platform. And I think you're right. Anyone can sue anyone for anything, but I think that would be the wrong move on his part because he's not employed by Twitch.
Yeah.
Which, yes, a majority of his money comes from here, but he also has sponsors. And
which he could lose. Has there been any talk of that?
I haven't seen anything about him losing sponsors. But I mean, in reality, he could pick up and just go somewhere else. He could pick up and go to Mixer. He could pick up and go to DLive. He could pick up and go to YouTube. He hasn't broken terms of service on those platforms yet.
Yeah.
Right.
But the question is, would he? Or is this finally the point where he's just kind of like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to retire if his ban stands.
Yeah.
But
Tim the Tap Man has already condemned it, so that's one. So top streamers.
There are also a lot of memes out there, and I think Tim was had one of the memes that got the most chatter. But I think it's dangerous. Giving someone just a timeout and letting them come back in.
And
because people see that, and trust me, there'll be kids or immature adults that will try and emulate what happened there.
Yep.
And DrDisrespect did this and got away with it. And if I say, I didn't know the camera was on, or I forgot to turn my phone off, it'll all be okay, kind of thing.
Exactly. And
but he doesn't have that excuse.
Well,
no,
that's what he's trying
the kids
to
are trying to
use.
emulate him.
Oh, okay.
Adults that trying to emulate him, they'll try and come up with some cockamamie excuse and get out of jail. I think with something like this, it has to be a very black and white kind of a short conversation. Hey, straight up, this was really stupid, possibly illegal. You're done.
And that's what gets me, is that it's not like he did something that is on a smaller scale. Like, he didn't say a slur, and that's what got him the short ban. He didn't, like, get in a fight with someone on stream, and that's what got him banned. He clearly broke a law. And this isn't a law that you can argue about. This isn't, oh, well, in some places it's legal to smoke weed, so if you live there, you can smoke weed on Twitch, but if you live somewhere that it's illegal, you can't. This is illegal everywhere. This is a law that's pretty obviously illegal for very obvious reasons. And I think that could be a big deciding factor, is this was a law that was broken, and a very big one, and that could be the point where Twitch is like, no, I'm sorry, but like, you went above our terms of service being wrong to the point of being wrong in the eye of the law. Which
and flat out having a lack of common sense. I mean, that's to me is all the more reason why this is something that they need to really drop the hammer on him.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be something different with some really obscure law that half the lay people don't know about or something like that. This is just good common sense. You don't carry a phone into a restroom. On any other day, somebody's gonna put a fist upside his head or something like that. Whether he's got his little bodyguard with him or not.
Yeah, and I don't know. I know that a lot of people want to defend him because they like his content, but I feel there comes a point with any content creator that I feel like you have to look at it and say, if this was someone that I didn't know or didn't like's content, would I be okay with it? If the answer is no, you shouldn't be okay with it with this person either.
Right.
But, I mean, there's still millions and gazillions of people who think PewDiePie is the greatest thing since sliced bread. When he's had no, I think it's a good example because he's had instance after instance of nasty, nasty language showing a very disturbing thought pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, all these millions of people still defend him. So it might not, I mean, it'll be the same here, I bet.
Yeah, I feel like this one might be a little bit smaller because it's harder to say, oh, it's taken out of context. No, he filmed people in the bathroom. Like, wrong.
I know!
Whether you, no matter what, no matter where you spin it, wrong.
wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
The other thing that troubles me is so many people memeing this, and I know memeing it because it's funny to the extent that the guy's a moron for doing it, but I think there's other people memeing it because they think it was funny in a different sense, and that's where I worry that people will try and emulate it or be like Dr. Disrespect, and that's one of the reasons why I think Twitch needs to think long and hard about being heavy-handed with the punishment side of things.
Right. I think that they need to look at the long term, not the short term. Because, like you said, he does it, gets away with it. This guy over here with 5 viewers thinks he's going to be edgy and shoot to the top of the list and go start filming in the bathrooms. Right. And then, they're going to get banned, or worse, they're going to get arrested, or even worse, someone's finally going to be fed up with people doing stupid stuff like this and beat the crap out of them.
Right.
Which...
And if one person gets away with it this week, next week 10 or 100, and then kind of snowball out of control.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I feel like this could. I want to know at what point do we just make the example out of someone for doing something this outlandishly stupid? Is this finally the time where they're going to go, okay, really? All right, look, man. We can't let you get away with this. And I think you know that. And this could be the time when either Twitch's side is going to say, no, hammer staying down, we're making an example of it, or California's side as a legal precedence is going to say, no, we're going to not stand up for this, because if he did it, his millions of followers are going to try to do it too, and this is going to get worse. So you have the big name in the news right now of he did it. That's the person to punish, because that's going to be the one that sends the message down of, if the guy that has millions and millions of viewers and followers can't get away with it, neither can you.
Yeah.
Right.
No, absolutely. And I mean, so much about the world of being a professional streamer and being a professional esports player and all that other stuff. It's very much unregulated right now.
Oh yeah, it's
beyond the fact that you pay taxes, and oftentimes what I've noticed is things that are unregulated. Eventually, people are going to want to regulate them.
Mm-hmm.
Think Civil War. Eventually, something that is unregulated, people will want to regulate it, and if that means setting a legal precedent here, so be it.
Yeah. And, I mean, I don't think that there's a better time to do it. This is a clear law that was broken. Like, it's not a law that we can argue, well, It's not really illegal. It's not.
Puppy.
We hear puppies.
Sorry, chat.
That's
Hi,
okay.
puppy.
No, it's fine. The dogs give us some positive uplifting in this not so positive topic.
So it's another good thing to throw out there and for people to think about. You know, when you're in the public eye, whether you're president or a movie star or a Twitch streamer, you have to behave and act in a certain way, and in some regard, you got to be a good example, a role model, or at least not a total idiot and a moron.
Not a total idiot.
The problem is, I think a lot of people see people like DrDisrespect, and they see that he's very popular and he's got great numbers, and all I have to do is be edgy or do something stupid or run in a restroom with a camera turned on, and I'm going to be the next big star on Twitch.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's
Puppy?
I think there's a lot that goes into it, but I think that it kind of comes down to it's obvious that you broke the law, dude.
Oh,
That could have come up.
puppy.
Oh God! Look at
That's
the dog.
Hello, puppy. Who's your good puppy? You're a good puppy. Yes, you are. Good dog.
He wants to be internet famous.
No,
That's the face Twitch needs, not DrDisrespect.
I love the puppy. Puppy is cute. Hello, puppy. Good puppy. Ooh, I want a dog so bad.
But this also comes back to, are we going to see this be slightly preferential treatment because he's a partner versus if an affiliate did it?
I don't know. We'll see what he's been banned for 2 days at this point. I say, we'll see what happens in a week. Because if he got past the 24-hour mark and he's still banned, a week is the next logical thing for something for a ban. So we'll see where we are in a week, and especially we'll see what he say, what does Twitch say, if anything. Hopefully some more to the story will come out. And then we will go from there, really. I do agree with what chat is the next logical point here. And if he's still banned past that, then fascinating.
Yeah, and
I
think that it's gotten past the 24-hour point, and if it's going to get to the week point, part of it is also just them going, I don't know what to do about this. Like, this is one of the dumbest things we've ever had to deal with. What do we do?
Is this really dumber than the porn 2 weekends ago?
Yeah, because those were just trolls, where this guy is, one like a big name on Twitch. He's kind of a face of Twitch for some people, and he was this dumb. And it's kind of, that's where I just think they're going to kind of be like, I don't even know what to do at this point. Like, how does this happen?
Yeah, I think if he does come back to Twitch, statement from both sides, and I wouldn't be surprised to see something like, as an apology or a good faith kind of a thing. Here's a charitable donation or a very public, heartfelt apology or something like that is going to come along with it, I believe.
Yeah, he's gotten pretty good at those. He's had to do those a couple of times.
PR person to type it up for him.
I feel like at this point he could almost type them on his own because he knows so many of the ways to spin words about it. But I do think that if he gets unbanned and they let this go, I think this is going to be a time where there might be a larger backlash against Twitch, even from other partners. Because I don't want people to see Twitch and see DrDisrespect and Dude Filmed in Bathroom and everyone go, oh, people that stream on Twitch are dumb. They film in bathrooms. Like, that's not a real place to be. That's not a legitimate platform. That's not a real career. And
they already say that.
I mean,
just not about the bathroom thing.
But this is just going to make it worse. They're just going to, this dude filmed in the bathroom. They don't care. They just let him come back. Whatever, man. I feel like that's a point where everyone is going to have a little bit more to say to Twitch about it.
So that's an interesting track. I mean, I know I saw Tim and Ninja both said, basically that was a stupid thing to do. But where are the popular streamers that are kind of condemning what happened and basically saying, hey, I play by the rules and I play nice, and you guys are letting people bring a bad name to us as streamers and Twitch as a channel.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be powerful stuff if some of those big names on Twitch were being a little more going past saying that was dumb and saying, you know what, Twitch, you all need to do something about that and clean house.
Yeah.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, we can look back at his channel next week's show and see, is he up again?
Yeah, because I will almost guarantee that we'll have some kind of update by then. If he's going to stay banned, if he's going to be unbanned, or what kind of things are going to follow. I don't know that we'll see if there's going to be any legal repercussions, because that moves a little bit slower, I think.
Yeah, but you'd be amazed what you can find legal documents-wise on the internet.
You're not wrong, but whether this specific case is going to have any or not, I think that might take a little bit longer, just because, like I said, that moves a little bit slower anyway.
Yeah, but you never know. I mean,
oh yeah,
literally, all you need to know is county something is in, and then you Google the county website, and then you go to the Register of Deeds website, and you can pull up mortgage document. You can pull up so much stuff. It's awesome.
Right. But I don't know.
Why Mallet is scary, number
Yep.
3781.
Yep. Every time that Mallet talks about murdering people,
Who said anything about murdering
and
people?
then you bring up stuff like this. Yeah, I will almost guarantee you there's going to be some kind of update by next week's show, if not sooner. I mean, tomorrow's Friday. We could even see it on a Friday, because that's still a working week. So we could see something then, or it may be over the weekend.
Legally, I didn't murder him.
But do you guys have anything else to kind of add to this topic, or even some of the other topics we talked about tonight? Because we are getting close to time, I think.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, I just checked. If anything gets filed, we'll be able to file documentation eventually.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we will. And if anything gets filed, it's going to be on social media before we would even think to look for it. It'll be like that.
I know, but reading legal documents is a weird exercise in like brain working.
Nah, I like it when they dumb it down for me. Makes it easier. That's why I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's really annoying sometimes when somebody's saying one thing and somebody's saying the other, and the one lawyer is like, yeah, that's not my state.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, I don't know, I don't live there. That's not my problem.
Pretty much, yeah. Exactly.
All right. Well, guys, I think that's going to do it for True Talk this week. Mallet, Steeemer, thank you guys both for joining me. Let's start with Steeemer. What do you got going on with your stream? When do you stream? And where can we find you?
So Steeemer, Steeemer. We're a mobile games channel. We're trying to build a community around mobile. People discover games that are fun to play, and we're a variety channel, but only within that classification of games. I'm also on Twitter. That's a great way to reach out to me. It's Twitch Steeemer, same spelling on Steeemer. And then I was going to close with one other thing. I'm not consider myself to be a writer, but I'm working with Green Cord at True Gaming. I've already written an article related to how to be, I guess, better on Twitter, some tips and that sort of thing. And I'm working on a second article. If there are any streamers out there that would be willing to share with me, the premise of the article is to kind of share what's realistic in terms of the financial breakdown of a streamer, both the income and the expense side. And if there are any streamers out there that'd be willing to share their viewer donation kind of numbers with me anonymously, I'd love to talk to you. So you can hit me up on Twitch or Twitter, and we can talk more about that offline.
Awesome. Yeah, so guys, if you're a streamer and you are interested in reading any of the articles or even working on articles with Steeemer, definitely message him. That sounds like it'd be super interesting.
That first article hasn't gone out yet. I told True I'd give him the exclusive, so to speak, but at some point I'm hoping it'll go up on True Gaming.
Yeah, awesome. So look forward to that hopefully in the future, guys. Mallet, what do you got going on with your stream? Where can we find you? Tell us all about it.
Well, it's Mallet Editor at everything. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz. Mondays are Moita Mondays where we... Yay! Other than that, anybody who's been around knows that my life's kind of falling apart around my ears. So we're trying to we're reworking our stream schedule and trying to get around all my numerous health issues. So I'm 25 going on 80 at this point. So so yeah, but definitely Moita Mondays. Do community stuff on Fridays and lots of Destiny. I am not a grandma, Sodomi. I saw that. Rude.
Everyone be nice.
She's half my age. You could pick on me, Sodomi.
Sodomi always picks on me.
That's fine.
Buddy.
That's what friends do. All right, guys. As always, I'm MPI. You can find me here on Twitch on my own channel, twitch.tv/Mr. Pure Instinct. If you guys are listening to this later on, you can always find it on your favorite podcasting platform or YouTube through True Gaming. Or if you want to catch it live, you can catch it here. Yeah, guys. I think that's about it. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to go raid someone, I believe, like we always do. Oh, yeah, we're getting a lag spike here. I don't know where it's at. I don't know if it's Discord.
It's Discord. It's definitely Discord.
Yep. Discord.
I think it's back now.
Maybe.
Oh,
I don't know.
I
I
think we're back.
Man, you jinxed it, MPI.
I didn't
told
do
you
anything.
jinxed
Discord broke.
It's still a technical difficulty.
That's not
You
my
jinxed
fault.
it. I told you not to say anything. And do you listen to me? No.
To be fair, the thing that I fixed isn't broken. The other thing is broken. There's a difference.
It's still a technical difficulty.
But guys, now that we're not broken anymore, as I was saying, you can find me here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mr. Pure Instinct. We stream Monday through Thursday. We do some story games or Dead by Daylight and a lot of video editing, what we've been doing lately, and I have been enjoying it a lot. Today, believe it or not, was my 1 year of being a full-time content creator, so we are going to find a way to celebrate that sometime in the future. I'm not sure when, but we're going to find a way to celebrate it, because I had no idea that it was coming up that fast, and it just sort of happened, and I was like, oh god. But, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, as always. We're going to send you over to good friend of the show, Friendly Neighborhood Vlad. He is playing some Borderlands and saving Twitch one stream at a time. Everyone say bye to the puppy.
Yes.
Say bye to Melon.
Bye,
Say bye to
puppy.
Steeemer.
Puppy. Bye, puppy.
We'll
Be a
see you
good
guys
Bye, y'all.
next
Thanks
time.
for stopping by.
Yay.